Hey, Energizer, Spencer Jones here with another episode of the Jonesin 4 show. And before we launch into this episode, I should say, I want to say thank you. Thank you to you for being here, for listening to this show, for watching it, right? Whatever you're doing, maybe you're running or working out, or maybe you're cleaning or driving, whatever it is, I appreciate you. Thank you for giving your time, your energy to me and to the show. I truly appreciate it. And if you could do me another favor besides just listening or watching, if you could hit subscribe, I would truly appreciate it. Right? The more people that download our show, the more lives we can change, the more lives we can impact. And we could change the positivity in this world, right? We can raise the vibration up. So join me, subscribe, and share this out with your friends. Okay, so let's dive into today's episode. It's a solo show today, and we are going to talk about being okay. And as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about it's okay to not be okay. Yeah, right? How many times do we feel like, oh, we just need to be okay. We need to fake it, right? We need to fake just being happy, being positive all the time. And when inside we're struggling. Inside, we're dealing with a tough time, a hard time in our lives, right? We're struggling. I don't know how else to say it, right? Except it's hard. We feel depressed. We feel sad. Our energy levels are not what they usually are, right? Maybe if you're usually at 100, or if like me, 110, right? If you're up there, some days you feel like, man, you're at a 90 or a 70. Heck, some days you feel like you're at a 10 or even a 0. I've been there. Crap, there's been times where I felt like I was at a negative 10 or 20. It's crazy. It's crazy how much we can fluctuate. And I want you to know, first and foremost, that it is okay to feel that way. It is okay to feel low energy at times. It is okay to not be at your peak, at your best all the time. Because guess what? That's what that is. It is a peak. It is a moment. And yes, we want to live there as long as possible, right? As much as possible. We want to be there. But the reality is, we can't always do that. And not that we can't, it's not possible to be there all the time. And that's okay. Life is a journey, right? You've heard me say this before. Life is a journey, up and downs, right? Those peaks, those summits, those amazing times are great, and we would love to live there. But after a while, that gets old, and we need to keep going on. And that journey then takes us back down the mountain and up to the next one that we see. And because you're going to the next mountain, you're going down. And so there are lows, there are tough times, there are struggles, there's those roadblocks, those obstacles, those mindsets, those limiting beliefs, those the negatives in the world that you're going to face. It's part of it, and that's okay. The thing to remember is to know that it's just a moment, that this is a blink in the eye in the grand scheme of your life. It's not here to stay, unless you choose to let it stay, right? And you could probably name people in your life who have chosen to let that darkness, that depression, that low point in their life stick around, right? They're the people you see who are moping all the time, not just every now and then, but all the time. The people who are always depressed or always bring up the old times, all the good times before, or how life is always dire and against them. But that's not you. You're an energizer, right? You're like, no, that's not me. But at times it is. And that is okay. As long as you don't stay there. Don't keep it. Don't hold on to it. Let's move forward. So now in this episode, not only do I want you to know that it is okay to not be okay, I want to help you when those moments happen. So here are 5 tips that can help you overcome that feeling of being okay. the feeling of not being okay, to being okay. So first and foremost, and this isn't even a tip, but to know that it is okay to feel not okay. It's all right. It's getting hard to say the more I say that over and over again. But know that that is normal and it is okay. When those moments happen, we move on. And actually, you know what? Let's make this the first tip. So this will be tip number 1. It is normal. Whatever normal means, because it always seems to be changing, right? The norm is always changing. It's crazy. So how is that normal? Change is normal? Well, we go with that. But not being okay, it's quote unquote normal. It happens to every single person. Whoever you think of, they have experienced not feeling okay at times. They've experienced pain, heartache, struggle. They've been through it. Think of a famous actor or actress that you look up to. They've struggled. What about one of your mentors or people you look up to in life? They've struggled. It is okay to feel that way. But again, we don't want to just dismiss it. We don't want to hide it. We don't want to, I should say hide it from ourselves, right? Maybe we don't want to share it with the whole entire world, and that's fine, right? We don't want necessarily your skeletons, right, to be shared out with everyone. But within some reason, that's okay, right? You want to be comfortable with you. You can't hide it from yourself. That's where I'm going with this. You need to be honest and true to yourself. And hopefully with other people as well. It's okay to let other people see that you struggle, right? And maybe you look up to me. So maybe you do. I'm not saying you have to, but if you do, you know that I struggle with days as well, right? The Prince of Positivity, I have days I'm not so positive, right? I have moments where I really struggle or where I see that negative and I latch onto it. And I have to do my best and take the tricks, the strategies that I teach and share, use it myself so I can get out of it. And there's some days where I'm really low energy. My 110%, I'm more like a 70. And I go, oh, it sucks. And then I start doing the tips, the strategies, the things I need to start raising that energy. So I get back up to 110. Does that happen all in one day? Nah, generally not. Usually that day I might raise my vibration up to 90. If I was a 70, I could usually get to about a 90 so far. But then by the next day I'm back at 110. And some days it is longer, but I try not to let it be more than 24 hours. But sometimes it is. And that's okay. So the first tip is to know that it's normal. It's normal to be that way, to feel that way. So don't beat yourself up. Don't let your inner critic, your inner bully get the best of you, because it's normal. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. The second tip for knowing it's okay to not be okay is to first acknowledge that you're not feeling okay, right? Because if you try to hide it, if you try to dismiss it, that's not going to help you at all. You're not going to be able to move past it if you don't embrace it. You're just trying to hide it. And all that does is make it grow bigger and angrier, meaner, right? So it's going to come after you with more vengeance. So first, acknowledge it. Be aware of it and acknowledge that it's there. Then embrace it. Embrace the fact that you don't feel okay. And give yourself permission to say, it's okay that I don't feel okay. Embrace it. It can help you. It can change your life. And then, as you embrace it, work through the emotions. Work through the emotions of what you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling sad, right? For whatever reason, you're feeling sad. So you recognize first, okay, I acknowledge that I'm feeling sad. I embrace it. Okay, I'm feeling sad. Okay, I embrace it. Now, why am I feeling sad? Let me go through these emotions. Okay, I'll feel sad. Where's it coming from? Why? And I can work through it. You can work through it. First, you need to acknowledge it, then you embrace it, and then you work your way through it. But you got this. Dismissing it isn't going to do anything. Acknowledging it without taking action is just going to let it be there in your circle without being noticed. And sometimes we need to do that just to be okay with it being there, because it could be something really big and and scary. So we just need to let it be in our space for a little bit before we totally embrace it. That's all right. But first acknowledge and then embrace it. And then when you start embracing, start working through it, because that's how you're going to come to the other side of it. That's how you are going to overcome it. That's how you are not going to have day after day after day after day of feeling that way. Those people we talked about, the people who mope, the people who are struggling all the time, 24/7, well, they're either in denial, they're trying to hide it, they're trying to dismiss it, or they acknowledge it, but they're not dealing with it. They're not working their way through it. Don't do that. Work your way through it. Okay? Work your way through it. Hey, sorry to butt in like this, but I have something really cool I want to share with you. Something that I know it can help you live your life to the max. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a roadmap that gets you to your destination. What do roadmaps do, right? Well, you have your destination. It shows you how to get there, the best way to get to that point. And you know what? That's what I have. What is this roadmap I'm talking about? I'm talking about my book, Chase Your Passion. That's right, you have a passion, you have a destination, you have goals, dreams you want to achieve, but maybe you're confused on how to get there. Maybe you're feeling stuck. Well, my book, Chase Your Passions, is that roadmap. It guides you through how to create that plan, how to create that roadmap, how to get over hurdles so you can have success. So if you're ready to ditch the excuses, if you're ready to get unstuck and ready to have success, to taste success and feel amazing, to achieve your goals and dreams, get your copy of Chase Your Passions. It's available on Amazon, or just head to my website, spencermjones.com. All right, let's catch y'all later, and let's keep chasing our passions. Let's go. Another tip is to seek help when you need it. I'll be perfectly honest, there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist, to seeing an expert who can help you. Because guess what? They're trained in this. They're trained in with tools and strategies to help you overcome it, and they can guide you. Right? We might think to ourselves like, "Oh, I'm good at this. I can do this myself. I don't need anyone. I don't need a guide." Well, would you just go on a road trip without having a map? Maybe, but you're probably going to get lost, right? Like, "Oh, I'm just going to go to LA and we'll figure this out. I'll just take roads that head west." Okay. It's going to take you a heck of a lot longer to get there, and you're probably going to have some mishaps along the way. So why not have a guide, a map to help you? That's where you seek help, right? Because they can be your guide. They can offer you that roadmap. They can help you see and work through the things so you can overcome it faster. Can you do it by yourself? Sure. Most likely you can. But it's going to be longer. It's probably be harder and tougher, right? Mentally tougher. So don't be afraid. Find some help. I've done it. And I'll tell you, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. When I was in my darkest of dark moments, I found a therapist. And he was able to guide me, to help me, to offer me new ways to look at things, new viewpoints, right? New lenses, and gave me tools of how I could work through the stuff I was working through, and I was able to overcome it. And because of that, I became who I am today. Seek help when you need. There's nothing wrong with it. We are here to help you. Then remember, the fourth tip is to remember it's not going to last. And I mentioned this already, right? It's not going to be here forever unless you don't deal with it. Then it might be here forever. There's no guarantees, but it's probably going to be here forever if you don't deal with it. Or it might fade away, but it's going to come back even stronger and harder. But know that not feeling okay today doesn't mean you have to feel that way tomorrow, or that it's going to be that way tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day, or the next day. It's not here to stay. It's not going to last forever. And it's especially not going to last if you acknowledge it, embrace it, and work your way through it. Because then it's here, you work through it, and then you move past it. You've grown. You've blossomed. You have your wings. And you get to fly. And the fifth tip is one that I love this one. I share this with so many things because it helps in so many aspects of our life, and that is to find the positives. So you might not be feeling well, right? You're not feeling okay, right? You're not feeling great, and it's easy to focus on the negatives at that point. It's so easy to focus on the dark times, the hard things, the things that suck, right? It's easy to focus on those, especially when you're not feeling well. Right? When you're not feeling 100%, it's easy and easier at that point to focus on those things. I get it. I've been there. I get it. And that's okay. But try to minimize it. Try moving your mind to focusing on the positives. Maybe not the positives, of you going through that at the time. If you can find those, awesome. But for me, I know that's a struggle. So I find other positives in my life. They can be small ones. They can be big ones. But I'll be honest, usually when I'm not feeling great, I struggle to find the big ones because I downplay it a lot. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, right? I downplay those big gratitudes, those big positives in my life. So I try, and it's work. I have to think about it, right? I have to build up that courage, but I try finding the positives. Like, at least I have my house, or I have shoes, or I could see. I'm lucky enough I could afford a cell phone and have internet. There's so many gratitudes around you. And when you're feeling low, it's hard to recognize them and feel them at times because you see things at that lower vibrational level. So intentionally try to look for things that are at the higher vibrational level, those gratitudes, those positives, because that'll help feed you that positive energy and raise you up a little. Is it going to take you right back to 100%? No, most likely not. But it's going to get you going along your way. It's going to help you get there. Isn't that what we want? To get better, to improve, to be happier, to live our lives to the max. And on that journey of our life, as we're living this journey, right? And as we're trying to live our lives to the max, there are going to be days, I can guarantee this, there are going to be days that you don't feel great. You don't feel okay. You don't feel amazing. You don't feel wowing. You feel fine. You feel okay. You feel less than average. You feel sad, bad, horrible, disgusting, whatever. And I hope you have few days like that. But I know they're going to happen. But know that they're not going to last. They're not going to be there forever. You can overcome it. You can have good days. Take these tips, right? Know that it's normal to feel that way. Everybody feels it. To acknowledge, right? To acknowledge that it's there. To embrace it and then work your way through it. To seek help when you need it. And to remember, it's not going to last forever. It's not going to be there. And keep finding the positives. Because if you do that, you will overcome it. You will be stronger. And you will be ready to keep fighting and keep living your life to the max. I know it. I've done it. I've seen people do this time and time and time again. I know you can do it. I believe in you. So let's go. Know that it's okay to not feel okay at times. It's all good. It's part of life. It's part of this journey. So keep being you. Know that you are enough and you are amazing just the way you are. You don't have to do anything, change anything, or prove anything because you are amazing. I know that I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here in this episode of the Jonesin 4 Show. I truly appreciate it and I thank you. I can't believe we're closing in on 100 episodes. Holy cow. Man, we have something special planned for the 100th episode and I hope you join us for that one. But until then, please hit like, please subscribe, and keep being you because you are amazing. All right. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day. And until next time, I'll catch you later.